part of Agatha Awards, named after Agatha Christie, of course. And we have two nominees for this year's Best First Novel category. LynDee Walker, her book is called Front Page Fatality. And Kendel Lynn, she is nominated for Bored Stiff. Both books were published by Henry Press right here in North Texas. Kendel, you are also the managing editor for Henry Press, which won this last year.
Yes, this exact category.
Right.
Susan Boyer won for Low Country Boil. So very exciting. It's a big deal to have a small press get so much recognition
Exactly.
so early.
Well, tell me about this book, Bored Stiff.
It features Elliot Lisbon, who is a director of a charity, and she's only 5,000 hours away from getting her PI license.
Okay.
And in this book, she's on the case where one board member is accused of killing another.
Okay, and so when did you write this? When was this?
This was a few years ago. Okay. Publishing is a very long process, and so
I do know that.
it takes a lot longer, I think, than people realize.
Absolutely.
So it took a few years. So,
right.
But this just came out last May.
And you're a Dallas girl.
I'm actually an LA girl, but I live here in Dallas now. So
We'll claim you.
Yeah. So I'm a convert, I guess.
That's good. We're glad to have you. All right, LynDee, tell us about your book, Front Page Fatality.
Well, my main character is a reporter, as evidenced by the stack of newspapers on the cover. And she gets herself into some trouble poking around in a crime story that some people don't want her to figure out what's really going on with.
Now, how do y'all come up with these stories? I'm always curious how these characters evolve in your head.
I think you just, we're both big readers, and when it comes to mystery, you're just always trying to think of how you can fake kill people. And so I think you try and think of all these interesting
I don't think of that very often, but I have some ideas for you, though.
Yeah, exactly.
It's fun when you start thinking about it.
Exactly. Once those seeds are in there.
Yeah, you evil little plotters, you. I always wonder, like, if you get your imagination. I find so much I get from my kids. Content for me comes from my kids. I wonder if that's the same for you.
For me, it's my children feature in the books as Nichelle's best friend's children. Nichelle doesn't have any kids, but she's. I used to be a reporter before I was a mom.
Okay.
But journalism carries very long hours, and
Absolutely.
so when I found out I was expecting a baby, I decided I actually wanted to see that baby. So maybe I should step away from the newsroom. And for me, fiction writing grew from just missing writing and wanting to do something, but not go back to news and have to be away from my children for so long. So, but there are funny stories that Jenna tells Nichelle about her children in the books that are almost entirely true stories about my kids.
Well, they're good content, like I say. Kendel, what would you suggest to people like yourself that are working on novels and dreaming for doing something like that and having it published? What would be your advice?
My advice is to research the industry. I think that if you're thinking about getting published, you need to know what's out there. You need to research what's going on in the industry, who's a good agent, where's a good fit, and look at all your options, because it's a big decision where you're going to place your book. So I would say research is probably the biggest thing to do.
Okay, you're here in Dallas, but from California, is that right? And you're from Dallas, but you actually reside in Virginia.
Yes, we moved to Richmond about 8 years ago, but I was born and raised in Fort Worth and Dallas, and so.
And you're back in town enjoying enchiladas. I understand you like to write about enchiladas.
Well, sometimes I do, actually. They feature in a scene in this book in particular.
You're a girl after my own heart. Welcome back home, too.
Thank you.
It's great having you both here today.
Oh,
thank you for sharing your information on these great books. And you can get more information about the Agatha Award winners. They're going to be announced on May 3rd, and we'll be cheering for our local Texas ladies. The broadcast will return right after this break.